Today, Fort Charlotte stands as a relic in a peaceful land, but it was not always peaceful. More than 200 years ago, Great Britain built this fortress to defend the Bahamas against enemies that included Europe monarchs, as well as the newer and narrower nations of America and Haiti. Lord Dunmore, governor of the Bahamas, began this massive fort in 1787, since smaller fortifications on the islands were proven inadequate. For more than a century, Fort Charlotte was a virtual military post for an empire often at war. Finally, in 1891, Great Britain War Office dismantled her, and the garrison soldiers moved on to a new assignment.
Fort Charlotte is a British colonial-era fort built on a hill overlooking the harbor of Nassau, the Bahamas. The fort sits a short walk west of downtown Nassau and the cruise ship terminal. The fort was constructed in the late 18th century, 1788 to be exact, by British colonial governor Lord Dunmore after the end of the American Revolutionary War.
In 1787, Dunmore accepted the post of governor of the Bahamas, where thousands of black, both freed and enslaved, have migrated. He proved inconsistent in his policy on slavery. The defense of New Providence, which Dunmore priority. He immediately began building the high-top fortress. Threats of war came and went, and critics ridiculed his plan, but Dunmore persisted with Fort Charlotte and Fort Fincastle.
The fort has never been used in battle. It is one of several English forts that are still standing in Nassau. These forts were used as battle stations to attack the invading Spaniards. The fort was named after the wife of King George III, Queen Saharia Charlotte. The middle bastion, Fort Stanley, and the western portion, Fort Darcy, were added later. The fort has a mat dungeons, underground passageways, and 42 canyons, which have never been fired in an act of aggression.
Join your voices together. Yeah, how they sing. Oh my
Dunmore set about building Fort Charlotte with design guidance only from a master carpenter. The most respected forts of the day were geometrically formal, known as regular forts. From the start, Fort Charlotte was criticized for failing to meet these ideals. In 1788, Dunmore asked a visiting engineer to complete these drawings to be sent to London. The accompanying letter explains that the site entirely commands the harbor, and the entrance into it and it's commanded by no other ground. Indeed, the location of Fort Charlotte was widely admired. It is clear in these plans that the fort's underground chambers and its well were included from the onset. The fort was made up of limestone by the hands of slaves. It was also believed that both men and women were involved in building Fort Charlotte, both black and white, both free and slave.
We are
Lena Gray,
Alicia Hepburn
Destiny Connor,
from the University of the Bahamas, recording from Fort Charlotte about the history of Fort Charlotte. We would like to thank you all for watching.
Purification and the realization. History of the now. We are the continents of the West. Border of the island. Where the trees grow bigger in this fertile soil. Sometimes I often wonder if there is any earth. Oh my Andra, she wake, 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 and ocean we wake. Oh my Andra, she wake, 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 and ocean we wake. Oh yeah. all the